7 levels of military power. The world operates on an unspoken hierarchy where nations are categorized by their ability to project force, influence decisions, and reshape international order. Understanding this hierarchy requires examining how military capabilities, economic strength, and diplomatic reach combine to create distinct levels of global power. If you want to keep climbing the ranks of military knowledge just like nations climb this power ladder, hit that subscribe button. We break down complex geopolitics into clear tactical analysis. Level 1. Microstates. At the bottom of the power spectrum sit microstates, nations with populations typically under 500,000 and minimal military capacity. These include countries like Liechtenstein, Monaco, and the Maldives. Their defense strategies revolve entirely around diplomatic agreements and regional security arrangements rather than independent military action. Liechtenstein abolished its army in 1868 after the Austro-Prussian War and has relied on Swiss military protection ever since. The country maintains only a small police force of around 120 officers. Vatican City, the world's smallest state, contracts the Swiss Guard for protection, a force of just 135 soldiers who've been guarding popes since 1506. These microstates survive through neutrality and economic specialization. They make themselves valuable through banking, tourism, or serving as diplomatic hubs. Their existence depends on larger powers respecting their sovereignty. Level 2. Small powers. Small powers possess limited military forces designed purely for territorial defense and internal security. Nations like Costa Rica, Iceland, and Luxembourg fall into this category. They maintain military expenditures below 2% of GDP and rely heavily on collective security arrangements. Costa Rica actually abolished its military in 1949 after a civil war, redirecting defense spending toward education and healthcare. The country depends on the Rio Treaty and close ties with the United States for external security. Iceland has no standing army but hosts NATO's Keflavik Air Base, which provides defense in exchange for strategic positioning in the North Atlantic. Luxembourg fields a small army of approximately 900 active personnel, relying on NATO for serious defense. These nations prioritize diplomatic skill over military muscle and use international institutions as force multipliers. Level 3. Emerging powers. Emerging powers are characterized by rapid economic growth combined with expanding military modernization programs. Countries like Vietnam, Nigeria, and Poland occupy this tier. They're transitioning from purely defensive postures to limited regional force projection. Vietnam maintains one of Southeast Asia's largest militaries with 482,000 active personnel and has been steadily modernizing its capabilities. The country purchased 6 Kilo-class submarines from Russia and has been upgrading its air defense systems to counter regional threats. This represents a shift from the largely infantry-based force that fought the American War to a more balanced, technologically capable military. Nigeria operates the largest military in West Africa, with roughly 143,000 active troops, and frequently deploys forces for peacekeeping operations across the continent through ECOWAS. The country has been fighting Boko Haram since 2009, which has exposed gaps in training, equipment, and logistics that the government is now working to address. Poland has dramatically increased its defense spending following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, placing orders for 250 M1 Abrams tanks, 48 Fa-50 fighter jets, and expanding its armed forces. The country is transforming from a modest NATO member into a significant regional military player positioned to defend NATO's eastern flank. Level 4. Middle powers. Middle powers possess the economic resources and military capabilities to influence regional security while participating meaningfully in global affairs. Australia, Turkey, South Korea, and Canada represent this category. They maintain advanced militaries but lack the global reach of great powers. Australia operates a technologically sophisticated military focused on maritime and air capabilities. The country fields 12 submarines, advanced F-35 fighters, and has entered the AUKUS agreement to acquire nuclear-powered submarines. Australia's defense spending sits around $50 billion annually, making it the world's 13th largest military spender. Turkey controls one of NATO's largest standing armies with 355,000 active personnel, and has developed its own indigenous defense industry, producing drones like the Bayraktar TB2, which proved highly effective in conflicts from Libya to Ukraine. The country's geographic position gives it significant leverage over critical maritime choke points, including the Turkish Straits connecting the Black Sea to the Mediterranean. South Korea maintains 555,000 active troops facing the constant threat from North Korea and has developed advanced capabilities, including domestically produced K-2 Black Panther tanks and KF-21 fighter jets. The country's defense industry has become a major exporter, with Poland recently purchasing $12 billion worth of Korean weapons systems. Level 5. Regional powers. Regional powers dominate their geographic neighborhoods economically and militarily, while exerting influence beyond their immediate borders. Brazil, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt operate at this level. They can sustain military operations across their regions and shape neighboring countries' policies. Brazil operates Latin America's largest military, with approximately 360,000 active personnel and a defense budget of $18 billion. The country maintains a blue water navy, including an aircraft carrier and submarines, though its military capabilities have declined relative to its economic potential due to budget constraints and corruption. Brazil's military production includes the Embraer KC-390 transport aircraft and armored vehicles exported across Latin America. Iran has built an asymmetric military strategy centered on ballistic missiles, proxy forces, and regional influence operations. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps operates separately from the regular military and controls the Quds Force, which supports allied militias across Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen. Despite decades of sanctions limiting conventional military modernization, Iran has developed domestically produced drones and missiles that threaten regional stability. Saudi Arabia spends roughly $75 billion annually on defense, the world's fifth-largest military budget, and has purchased advanced American weapons including F-15 fighters and THAAD missile defense systems. The country has been leading a military coalition in Yemen since 2015, though the intervention exposed serious weaknesses in operational planning and execution, despite overwhelming material advantages. Level 6. Great powers. Great powers possess global military reach, advanced nuclear arsenals, permanent seats on the UN Security Council, and economies ranked among the world's largest. France, the United Kingdom, India, and Russia occupy this tier. They can project power worldwide, but cannot match superpower capabilities. France maintains approximately 200,000 active military personnel and operates the only nuclear-powered aircraft carrier outside the United States, the Charles de Gaulle. The country has military bases across Africa and regularly deploys forces for counter-terrorism operations in the Sahel region. France's nuclear arsenal includes roughly 290 warheads delivered by submarine-launched ballistic missiles and air-launched cruise missiles. The United Kingdom fields around 148,000 active troops and maintains a continuous at-sea nuclear deterrent through 4 Vanguard-class submarines carrying Trident II missiles. Despite budget constraints since the Cold War ended, Britain retains global military presence through bases in Cyprus, Gibraltar, and Diego Garcia, plus 2 new Queen Elizabeth-class aircraft carriers that entered service in the 2010s. India operates the world's 4th-largest military with 1.45 million active personnel and has rapidly expanded its capabilities over the past 2 decades. The country maintains a nuclear triad, operates an aircraft carrier with more under construction, and has developed ballistic missiles capable of reaching all regional adversaries. India's defense spending reached $76 billion in 2024 as it modernizes forces to compete with China along their disputed border. Russia maintains the world's largest nuclear arsenal, with approximately 5,580 warheads and exports weapons to over 50 countries. However, Russia's invasion of Ukraine exposed serious weaknesses in logistics, training, and equipment maintenance. Level 7. Superpowers. The superpower category represents nations with unmatched global military reach, the world's largest economies, and the ability to shape international order. Currently, only the United States fully occupies this tier, though China is rapidly approaching superpower status through military modernization and economic expansion. The United States operates the world's most powerful military with approximately 1.3 million active personnel, 11 nuclear-powered aircraft carriers, over 13,000 military aircraft, and roughly 5,000 nuclear warheads. American defense spending reached approximately $842 billion in 2024, exceeding the combined military budgets of the next 10 countries. The U.S. maintains over 750 military bases in more than 80 countries, enabling power projection anywhere on the planet within hours. American military dominance rests on technological superiority across all domains, including stealth aircraft, satellite networks, cyber capabilities, and precision-guided munitions. The country can conduct multiple major military operations simultaneously across different continents. This capability was demonstrated during the 2003 invasion of Iraq, when the U.S. deployed 250,000 troops, while simultaneously maintaining operations in Afghanistan and elsewhere. China has emerged as a potential superpower through 3 decades of sustained military modernization and economic growth. The People's Liberation Army now fields approximately 2 million active personnel, the world's largest navy by hull count with over 370 ships, and has rapidly closed the technology gap with the United States. China's defense spending reached an estimated $296 billion in 2024, though analysts suspect the real figure is significantly higher due to off-budget programs. The PLA has achieved breakthroughs in hypersonic missiles, aircraft carriers, stealth fighters, and anti-satellite weapons. China launched its 3rd aircraft carrier in 2022 and aims to operate 6 carrier battle groups by 2035. The country has established its first overseas military base in Djibouti and is expanding port access across the Indian Ocean. The competition between the United States and China now defines global geopolitics, particularly in the Indo-Pacific region, where both powers are building up military capabilities. The outcome of this rivalry will determine the international order for the rest of the 21st century, with other nations forced to navigate between these two superpowers while protecting their own interests. Now, if you really enjoyed watching this video, then like it and consider subscribing to the channel, as we will be soon bringing up more anticipated and exciting content soon in this channel. I'll see you later.